Hello everyone, my name is Daniel. Welcome back to Wright, where the lighting doesn't look good at all right now. But we're going to keep it because this is a new camera and whatnot. So today I wanted to talk about the Canon T7I, which is the successor to the T6I, just because there's a little bit of upgrades and let's see if it's worth buying or not. So Canon really didn't give this a gigantic upgrade as far as quality in video and photo. And it really didn't give a whole lot of features as well. One of the things that it has is a 24.2 sensor, which is also an APS sensor. Now this is something that is on all of the Sony cameras. Most of those have APS-C sensors, which is going to give you a larger range. So that is 4K capable, obviously, because those are all the sensors that are in the Sony cameras that shoot 4K. But we don't have 4K yet, do we? No, we don't. One of the features that they did add into this is the Digic 7 image processor, which allows the T7 to get a wider range ISO than they normally do the T6i. The range actually was kind of ridiculous. I think it was from like 100 to like 25,000, which is good, but compared to a lot of other cameras that are coming out in the market these days, that is nowhere near what other cameras can do for a better price, but we'll get into that in a minute. This camera has a 45-point autofocus system, which is ridiculous because the T6i has a 19-point autofocus system. Now, when you hear this, I don't want you to get excited and just think, oh my god, the autofocus is amazing, because you know, it very well probably won't be. My T6i has good autofocus, it's just really slow autofocus, and it has 19 points. Now, to give you a little bit of a comparison, the Canon 70D, which has rapid fast autofocus, only has 17 autofocus points. So the points, when you hear that, doesn't necessarily mean that you have fast autofocus, it just means there is more points in the camera system to pick up and focus on. Talking about the T7i as far as video now, you can shoot 1080p in 60 frames a second, which is a new feature that the T6i did not have. You can shoot 1080p in 30 frames a second, or if you wanted to get a real cinematic look, you can shoot 1080p in 24 frames a second. Now the T6i and the 70D, for that matter, don't get me wrong, they shoot in 30 frames a second 1080p, and they do really good video. So you don't necessarily have to have the 60 frames a second, but it does help when you're trying to get that buttery smooth video, especially if you want to slow that down and get some slow-mo shots. It makes it a lot easier as opposed to 30 frames a second. When you slow that down, sometimes it can get a little choppy. Don't by any means go out and spend a ton of money on this camera. This camera retails for about 800 bucks, so it's not that bad, about $79.99 in most of the stores that you're going to be able to find, but it doesn't have 4K. So let's talk about some cons for this camera and why you might not want to buy it. Number one, there are plenty of cameras that you can buy on the market for a similar price range, if not just a little bit more, to get amazing 4K video that is high definition, ultra HD quality video, and that actually Sony makes. But Canon, with these smaller cameras, still has not put out 4K, and I'm actually really upset about it. So moving on. So number two, still no 4K. I mean, I can't really get over that because as far as we are advancing in technology and as far as other companies are advancing in technology, I don't think Canon should make you have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to be able to shoot 4K when you can buy a Sony camera for like $800-900 bucks and shoot 4K just fine, and it is 10 times more amazing quality than anything else you've ever seen. So number three, to be realistic, and this is kind of a con, I'm gonna put it in the con section. If you have the same features in the previous camera, the T6i, that's just as good and is cheaper, then it would be feasible for you to go ahead and get the T6i or even the T5i, depending on what you're doing, Or if you're just starting out, T3i, T4i, these cheaper cameras have just as good a video. So if Canon just keeps putting out newer cameras that are the same quality in video, then you're not going to want to buy them. You're just going to want to get the cheaper ones because they're not innovating themselves. They're not upgrading their quality. They want you to spend thousands of dollars on their high-end cameras so that you can have that quality. Alright you guys, be sure to like this video, put a comment down below, let me know what you think about the T6i, or the T7i, or any of the T-I lines. For this channel, I want to know what you guys think, and if you want me to do some research and check into comparisons or other cameras, let me know. I'll be happy to do those videos for you guys. And be sure to subscribe to this channel. Check out these two videos right here because you know you want to. And I will see you guys in the next video. I love all of you all. Bye.